that a lot of people are really surprised that successive governments in Nigeria have not been able to do something about the value of the naira, and our economy is not even doing well at all. You have government who have only given us promises about what to do to actually strengthen our currency, the naira, and also reflate the economy. But over these years, they've not been able to do that. But are you not wondering why we have got to this point where it seems as if the economy has become lame duck? Bear in mind that in the 80s, we had a very powerful currency that even the US dollar was struggling to catch up with. But today, look at it. We have one British pound exchanging for 980 naira, dollar over 900 naira, and the euro 810 naira and more. That's very baffling, and of course, it is not something that we need to, look far to know exactly where we went mad. Now, in case you don't know the root cause of our problems today, I'm going to let you know, going back to the 80s when the Nigerian economy performed very well. Now, 42 years ago, precisely August 1980, the exchange rate was $1 to 80 kobo, not even to 1 naira. Are you surprised? You know why? We were far more productive in 1980 than we are today. In 1980, the key reasons for the economic growth in Nigeria were as follows. Number one, we were a net exporter of refined petroleum products. Today, we import all our refined petroleum products. How about the locally assembled cars, buses, and trucks? Remember the Peugeot Automobile of Nigeria PAN in Kaduna? And the Volkswagen of Nigeria in Lagos here. We were manufacturing cars here, whether you call them assembly, of course. You had Peugeot in Kaduna and Volkswagen in Lagos. How about Leyland? Leyland produced trucks, buses in Ibadan. And then in the east, and Lamco. Of course, you remember Lamco in Enugu that produced buses that Ikele and all other transport companies were using at that time. These were locally assembled vehicles for both local needs and, of course, for export. Not also forgetting Ster in Bauchi that produced our agricultural tractors. And it was not just assemblies. We were producing many of its components here in Nigeria. Now, Vono products in Lagos. You remember that Vono product? Yeah, Vono. It was a company in Lagos that produced the vehicle seats. And then Exide Battery in Ibadan produced, the battery needs for these automobiles and all that. Not just for Nigeria, but for the entire West Africa. Not also forget Isoglass and TSG in Ibadan that produced the windscreens of the cars and vehicles. How about Ferodo? That company was also in Ibadan, and it produced the brakes and discs, brake pads for the vehicles here in Nigeria. Dunlop tires, you remember that? In Lagos, and Michelin tires, and I mean tires produced from rubber plantations that were located in Ogun, Bende State as it was then, now Edo Delta, and Rivers State in South Nigeria. We were listening to radio and watching television set that were assembled in Ibadan by Sanyo. Yes, of course, Sanyo products. Remember them? If you're above 40, you should know what I'm talking about. Now, we were also using refrigerators, freezers, and air conditioners that were produced by Thermocool or Debowale Industries, the one we call Debo. And then we were also putting on clothes produced from the UNTL textile mills in Kaduna and Chelarams in Lagos. They were not from imported cottons, but from the cotton grown here in Nigeria. How about water? Yeah, of course, our water was running through pipes produced by Kwali Pipe in Kano and Duraplast in Lagos. Now, our toilets were fitted with WC produced in Kano and Abeokuta. Now, we were cooking with LPG gas stored inside gas cylinders that were produced right here in Nigeria at the NGC factory in Ibadan. How about electricity? Current was flowing through cables that were produced by the Nigerian Wire and Cable, Ibadan, Nokako in Kaduna, and Cable Metal in Lagos and in Port Harcourt. Now, we had Bata and Lena stores producing shoes that we were putting on. You remember Cortina by Bata? And then the shoes were not from imported leather, but from locally tanned leather in Kaduna. To go on, we were mainly flying our airways. The Nigerian Airways was about the biggest in Africa at the time. For example, from Port Harcourt, Old Airport to Calabar. How much exactly? 9 naira. Yes, 9 naira. And within 25 minutes, you had landed in Calabar Airport. Most of the foods that we ate were grown here in Nigeria. The rice and all that, beans, just name it. None was imported. We were producing all and many more in 1980. But is that the same story today? The answer is no. Even to the extent that we are importing pomo from Republic of Benin. I understand that those who are selling fruit, including pineapples, they said they have preference for pineapples that are grown in the Republic of Benin and not the one that are grown in Edo State, where these produces are wasted. Today, almost everything is imported. Where did we go mad? We went mad when Babangida came in. And as at that time when he came in, the economy was highly solvent. But he accepted the advice of the IMF to devalue our currency, that we were going to do better. He was convinced and he was confused. From then, in 1992, the government of IBB devalued our naira, and then we also accepted the IMF loan, and then we went mad. Ever since, we have not been able to recover from that very bad judgment. How do we get out of the woods? Well, successive government has tried. Unless we go back to producing what we need, Nigeria will continue wallowing in abject misery, economically speaking. I do hope we will rethink and get back to production rather than consumption. Thank you very much.